Picture this. The screen is black. The sound of a ticking clock grows louder, faster, almost suffocating. Then suddenly flash cuts of a crowded Wall Street, traders shouting over each other, telephones ringing non-stop, ticker tape machines spitting out endless streams of paper as if vomiting chaos. It's October 24th, 1929. A date that looks ordinary on a calendar, but would become one of the most catastrophic days in financial history. In those early morning hours, no one knew the storm that was minutes away from swallowing the global economy. Bankers were sipping coffee, brokers were laughing at morning rumors, and newspapers were still printing optimistic headlines. But below the surface, something had already cracked. A wave of sell orders was quietly building, and within moments it would explode. The next few hours would destroy fortunes, collapse the illusion of endless prosperity, and mark the birth of the Great Depression. This isn't just a history lesson. This is a journey back into the beating heart of the financial world, right as it flatlined. Now, imagine zooming out from that chaos for a moment. The Roaring Twenties had convinced Americans that the stock market was a money-printing machine. Everyday people, teachers, factory workers, small shop owners, believed wealth was guaranteed. Credit was cheap, confidence was high, and speculation was not just accepted but glorified. Wall Street became a symbol of invincibility, a cathedral of capitalism that millions worshipped without question. Big businessmen, politicians, and newspapers all fed the narrative that the boom would last forever. That optimism wasn't just culture, it was policy, it was advertising, it was the air people breathed. But behind the shining skyscrapers, cracks in the system were spreading quietly. Inflated stock prices, mountain-sized margin debt, and a fragile system built on hope instead of stability. And so, on that Thursday morning, Wall Street woke up believing it would be another routine trading day. But the market had already started shaking. Brokers sensed unease. Ticker tapes lagged. Rumors traveled through the financial district like sparks searching for a fuse. The stage was set, and the actors didn't even know the tragedy they were about to perform. In just a few hours, the greatest economic illusion of the modern age would collapse in real time. And as we enter this story, we not just learning what happened, we walking into the final hours before the world changed forever. A morning that felt normal. The day began like any other on Wall Street. Brokers hurried into offices, traders discussed early rumors, and newspapers printed cheerful headlines about America's unstoppable prosperity. The Roaring Twenties had conditioned everyone to believe the market could only rise. But beneath that confidence, whispers of instability drifted through the financial district. Overnight sell orders were higher than usual, and the ticker tape seemed slightly slower than normal. Nothing screamed panic yet, but something in the air felt off, like the calm before a storm no one wanted to acknowledge. Rumors spread like fire. By mid-morning, small cracks began to appear. Traders noticed unusual selling pressure from major investors, and rumors spread that European markets were trembling. Phones in brokerage offices rang non-stop as clients demanded updates. The ticker started falling behind just a few minutes at first, then more. Anxiety slowly replaced confidence. Some brokers shrugged it off as a temporary correction, but veterans felt uneasy. When a few well-known stocks suddenly dropped without warning, the whispers intensified. The financial community didn't yet realize it, but the first domino had already tipped, and panic was creeping closer with every tick. The sell-off begins. Around 10 a.m., the market broke open. Sell orders flooded the floor from every direction, overwhelming the system. Prices fell so quickly that the ticker tape lagged by nearly an hour, leaving investors blind and terrified. Traders shouted frantically, trying to keep up. Margins were triggered, forcing even more selling. Ordinary Americans, teachers, shopkeepers, factory workers, watched their life savings vanish in minutes. Crowds formed outside brokerage buildings, demanding answers no one had. The selling was no longer rational. It was pure fear. The panic had begun, and it was spreading faster than anyone could control. Margin debt becomes a weapon. Margin trading, once the engine of the booming 1920s, suddenly became the weapon that destroyed it. As stock prices crashed, brokers issued margin calls that everyday investors couldn't meet. With no cash to cover the losses, their holdings were liquidated instantly, accelerating the collapse. Panic rippled across cities. As people realized the market they trusted had turned on them. Phones. Community banks saw lines forming outside their doors, and fear spread like an infection. The financial system wasn't simply failing, it was cannibalizing itself, dragging down anyone connected to it. The bankers' emergency meeting. By noon, the crisis had reached such a level that Wall Street's most powerful men gathered at J.P. Morgan's offices. Representatives from major banks, including Chase in National City, joined a desperate meeting to stop the collapse. Their plan, collectively buy massive quantities of blue-chip stocks to restore confidence. For a brief moment, it worked. The market slowed its fall. Traders cheered, and newspapers rushed to report that the crash had been contained. But underneath that temporary calm, fear still ruled. The bankers had bought time, not stability. The afternoon collapse. As the afternoon began, the illusion of recovery shattered. The selling returned, fiercer than before. Investors realized the bankers' rescue had no real foundation. Confidence was gone. Prices plunged again, and the ticker tape fell hopelessly behind. Crowds outside grew into thousands, filling the streets with confusion and dread. Police barricades appeared as tensions rose. Companies lost millions within minutes. The market was no longer functioning, it was in free fall. This was not a correction or a bad trading day. It was a historic collapse, unfolding in real time. The shockwaves begin. When the market finally closed, the devastation was undeniable. Brokerage firms were ruined, families had lost everything, and financial institutions sensed the beginning of a national emergency. The crash didn't end on October 24th, within days. Black Monday and Black Tuesday struck, delivering even more destruction. Banks began to crumble. Businesses shut their doors. Unemployment soared as companies across the nation felt the shockwaves. What happened on that Thursday morning wasn't the isolated case, it was the opening act of a decade-long disaster. A world forever changed. In the weeks that followed, America realized the crash had reshaped the world. The illusion of endless growth was gone, replaced by fear and hardship. Millions lost jobs, homes, and hope. The Great Depression rippled across continents, collapsing economies and rewriting global history. Looking back at those final hours before the crash, the warning signs were clear and checked. Speculation, easy credit, blind optimism, and a belief that markets never fall. The collapse wasn't just a financial failure, it was a human one. And its lessons echo today, reminding us that every bubble bursts eventually. As the dust settled after those chaotic hours on Wall Street, America stepped into a darkness it never imagined. Businesses closed, banks failed, families lost everything, and an entire generation learned a brutal truth. Confidence can build an empire, but fear can destroy it in a single afternoon. What unfolded on October 24th wasn't just a market crash, it was a breaking point. A moment when the world discovered how fragile prosperity really is. And looking back now, it's haunting how familiar the warning signs feel. Euphoric markets, unstoppable optimism, mountains of debt, and a belief that crashes only happen to other people. The 1920 Colaswasanti, just a tragedia, was a message written in history. Every bubble ends, every illusion breaks. And every era of boom eventually meets its limit. The only question that matters today is whether we're paying attention, or whether, just like them, we're living in the calm before our own storm.